I gotta talk to the robot. I did set this to the wrong height. I'm a fucker. I was wrong, and I'm a fucker. The 45-degree hyperextension is a great piece of equipment, and we're gonna go over a couple variations where we can target slightly different things today. The first one that we're gonna do is a neutral back extension, so our feet are going to be parallel, and we're gonna keep the back relatively neutral throughout. There will be some motion of the spine, but overall, compared to some of these other variations, it's gonna stay pretty straight. We're gonna hold a dumbbell directly under our chin, and we are going to raise our shoulders up primarily by pushing our hips into the pad. We wanna come up till till our body is right about straight here, and we go back down. This is an exercise where we'll get a little bit of a rhythm going. Notice that the back does round a little bit at the bottom, which is fine, but what's important is that the knees are staying straight and that Maggie is going through this range of motion by driving her hips into the pad, not just by arching the crap out of her back and just raising the shoulders. Great, so this is the neutral back extension. Now, if we wanted to target a little bit less of her spinal erectors, we could do something called a glute emphasis back extension. And that's gonna happen with our toes pointed out about 45 degrees. That's already gonna increase contribution of the glutes a little bit. And then by rounding the spine throughout the motion, we're going to turn off those erectors so that they don't really contribute as much. And again, we're lifting ourselves up by driving into the pad and really swiveling about these hips here. We're keeping our ribs pulled in towards the hips even as the hips extend. So this is a glute emphasis back extension. A really cool way to mix this up, especially if we really want to target that posterior chain and those spinal erectors, is we're going to do a prisoner single leg back extension. So the prisoner position is just putting our hands behind our head here, and we're going to do this single leg. So we'll only have one leg in, one leg will be out over the top, we go down to the bottom and drive up from here. Now at first it might feel kind of easy, right? But as we go through this motion, especially if we switch straight to that second side, those spinal erectors are gonna be working really, really hard. They don't really get a break, even though one of those legs is getting a break. So despite having no additional external load, this is a very, very challenging variation that will bias a little bit more towards the spinal erectors.